Yes, we're brewing on the iGulu again, and this time it's a Bavarian wheat. You probably know it as a Hefeweizen. It is a nice light wheat beer, which is wheat just very smooth, very silky, and it's more on the malty side, just slightly, but yeah, nice sessionable ale, especially during the summertime. I know it's winter right now, but I'm in Florida. It could be summer tomorrow as far as the temperatures are concerned. But yeah, we're doing a Hefeweizen, which is a Bavarian wheat. If you didn't see it before, we did the pale ale last time and it came out amazing. If this is even half as good as this was, we'll be set. If you haven't seen the pale ale, go check it out over here. I'll put a link. You can go there, check out the brew. But yeah, super simple. I went a little more in depth. I'm not gonna go quite as in depth here, but we'll cover a couple different things this time. And it's gonna be super simple. So I'm gonna set the pale ale out of the way. And next time we'll do, yes, the amber lager. That's right. It's got a little bit more bitter to it, but it's still a very smooth beer. It's gonna be kind of like I would assume something like a Vienna lager, or I don't know if I'd call it a Helles, but a Vienna is probably gonna be pretty close to that. So let me get this out of the way real quick and we can get brewing. Okay, just like last time, and I'll show you a picture of everything that I have laid out on the paper towel. I sprayed everything with Star San. So it's basically a sanitizer and water and you're set. Don't forget, if you're brewing, get yourself some spring water. Don't use your tap water. The spring water is gonna come out so much better. You're gonna really appreciate that the water is not going to have a problem, because if you're pulling tap water, you may be pulling chlorine or chloramine, which is kind of like chlorine. Just buy yourself some spring water. If you're a home brewer that's been brewing for a long time, you can get your distilled or deionized water and add your brewing salts, but that's your call. So let's go right into this. I have 116, I think I said 115 last time, but it's probably due to lack of being able to see with my glasses sometimes. 116 ounces of water. That's the little line right over here, and you'll see it right on the system. And you just fill your water up to that point. Everything should be clean. If you didn't see the cleaning video, you'll have to go check that out, but I did a video on cleaning. This is our liquid out. This is the straw that literally sucks the beer right up. And I mean, this is so simple, it's really not gonna take that long. Okay, also, for anybody who didn't see the first video, your instructions right there on the back. And the instruction says to prepare a clean iGulu keg, which we have, add purified water up to 116 ounces, drip the hop extract into the water, sprinkle the yeast in, add the malt extract without stirring. I'm OCD, I'm gonna stir it. But I believe the reason they don't want you to stir it is they don't want you to take something like a spoon that's been sitting out in your kitchen that may have dust or a little bit of yeast or bacteria on it that you don't realize, and you stir it up, it's gonna destroy your beer. So that's really my theory behind that, is they want everything to stay as clean as possible. I know I can let it, it'll probably be just fine, but yeah, I've been brewing for too long, I've gotta stir it, and I'm gonna do it. And it came out amazing last time, so I'm not gonna worry about it. And it describes Bavarian wheat beer, also known as a Weissbier, and I'm not German, so, well, I am genetically, but yeah, not in language, or Hefeweizen. It is known to be refreshing, fruity. Sometimes you get a little bit of clove, more so in the taste and aroma. And banana is also a common one that you get in aroma and in the taste. A golden appearance, creamy texture, that's that silky mouthfeel I told you about, with hints of banana, hints of citrus, and distinct clove aroma. So yeah, it's a very popular style. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna dump in the hop extract. Now the hop extract, all this stuff has been cleaned. I got some scissors here. I'm literally squeeze down on that to make sure there's nothing coming up out of the top. Tear it with your fingertip, as long as your hands are clean, make sure they're very clean. I had to rinse mine just before I started the cameras. And you just squeeze it out. And if you saw the first video, you'll see that this is a little hazy when I put this in, although this is very mild because this is only one packet. I just want to warn you too, if you're not used to brewing and you get one of these hop packets, well, first of all, don't taste test it because that's really bad. But you go, oh, I don't really like hops. I just want to add the grain. No, add the hops. The reason being, hops is a bittering agent. And the malt extract, which is from malt, which actually this is from wheat, is very sugary sweet. They balance each other. It's going to ferment the majority of the sugars out of there, and those sugars will convert into alcohol and CO2, which is part of your carbonation. But this is gonna help with the little bit of malt extract sugars that aren't fermentable to balance the flavor. It's gonna be on the malty side, which means a hint of sweet, but you need to put this in. Don't skip a step, you need them all, okay? I'm gonna take that, set that down there. I know it says add the yeast. I'm gonna add the malt. I'm gonna cut it with my clean scissors that have been sprayed, cleaned, and dried with a fresh paper towel. Okay, this stuff is extremely sticky. Don't get it wet. Okay, we're gonna literally just take it and I'm gonna dump it in here. See, maybe I'll put it up here high where you can see it, and then I'm gonna dump it in. And it's gonna get dusty, so do it very slow. Don't go fast. I say dusty, it's not real dust, but it's like a fine powder. And you want all of it, but you don't have to go crazy. Okay, here's the part that they say don't stir. Definitely don't shake it. Just don't. I'm taking my little straw, which connects to this. I'm gonna look at it because one side had little lines in it where it had, okay, so this is the top. Doesn't really matter, but I'm keeping it that way. And I'm just giving it a nice stir, that's all. Like I said, it says not to, but it came out so amazing last time, and everybody's a little OCD. The other thing that's gonna happen here is because I'm stirring it, I'm adding oxygen or air, but there's oxygen in there, that is getting blended into the water. And with beer brewing, yeast doesn't need oxygen to eat sugars and convert them to alcohol and CO2. But oxygen helps the yeast to reproduce, which means I'm gonna have a healthier and more abundant amount of living organisms called yeast in there doing their job. This stuff's definitely stickier. Okay, I'm not gonna go crazy and keep stirring it forever. There are some chunks floating around. Hopefully they get all fermented through and it's all good. But that has been oxygenated now. And I have a little bit of a problem. I've got liquid stuff on there, but I'm gonna set it on my clean napkin. I'm gonna take my yeast, just a little packet of dry yeast right here. And I think I'm gonna have to cut it. I don't think this has a tear piece. I don't see anywhere to tear it. I think the last one did, but I don't see one on this. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut it. And it just says dry wheat beer yeast. So it is a specific yeast picked out for the wheat. There are just hundreds and hundreds of available commercially. There's probably more than you can humanly imagine in the world, but as far as commercially available. And each yeast is a little distinct in how it reacts with malts and hops, giving it very unique flavors and aromas. So now we're gonna take the straw, push it all the way up, okay? So it looks just like that. We're gonna put it in, and you're gonna push down. You wanna get this nice and sealed. This is your little C-clamp. It's gonna go around the thing, and I'll put it up here so you can see it. And you're gonna go to one side, pull it back and latch it. It's gonna be very loose. That's okay. When this starts to ferment, it's gonna create CO2 and it's gonna push the lid up, and that lid's gonna create pressure, making this kind of snug, okay? And hopefully you did watch the cleaning video and everything's nice and clean. So we have this, and remember, if you watched the first video, we learned a lesson. So we're gonna wait on that. I'm just simply gonna open this up. We're gonna take this, lift it up, and set it in. That's it. Turning things around a little bit. I got my air, snap it on there. Then I have the liquid. Now here's the key with the liquid. Before you put this on, because you're gonna be shooting liquid everywhere, is crimp that all the way down. So it's clamped all the way. It looks like I can go one more. Nope, I'm all the way. That's pinching this so there's no liquid that's gonna come out. Other thing is you pick up this piece, it's got a little magnet and a little piece on the front. You're gonna push this all the way down, okay, but it won't go. You've gotta open the tap handle. That releases the clamp on that, because the beer doesn't go through that plastic nozzle or any of the metal. It goes through this food safe hose, okay? So that's pushed down as far as I can go. I'm gonna let go, it's clamping it. Then I take this, I come all the way back with this hose, and I snap it on. I cover all that up, I put this back. Don't throw it. Put this back on. I'm gonna cover it up. We're not done. Nope, we're not. So I'm gonna switch over here real quick. And we have an RFID reader right here. And you can see up here, it says fermentation. Okay, we have a problem. Now, just so you know, in case you have a production unit, this was a pre-production unit. This is like their test run. Find any kind of little bugs and weird things and fix it. Yeah, well, I think I just found a new bug. So the pale ale we know works. I tried the amber lager, it works. My Bavarian wheat does not work, and it has the latest firmware, so there's a problem. But there's two solutions. First, because I know what I'm doing in brewing, I know that the pale ale settings are pretty much identical for what the Hefeweizen is going to be. If, let's say you only had the Hef and it didn't work, which I doubt, but if for some reason the RFID was damaged, you could go over here and go manual. So in fermentation, you can swipe over here, I hit it, and I can say, oh, it's a 3-stage ale. And if you didn't know that, you could reach out to support. So we go 3-stage ale. I want to look at it, see what it says. It says 6 days at 64 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 days at 68, and then it cold crashes it for 4 days at 39 degrees. That's a long time for a cold. So what is that, 10, 11, 12? I'm gonna swipe back. There we go. And I'm just gonna call this the pale ale because I know it'll be fine. And I'm gonna say, heat, brew. And that's it, we're done, technically. It's gonna heat up, the yeast is gonna start getting warm, the yeast is gonna go, ooh, sugar. It's gonna start eating away. It's gonna create CO2, and it's also gonna create alcohol. And in 6 days, it'll say, we should be pretty close to done, and it's gonna start cold crashing. And it's gonna do that for 3 days. Now, that helps to clarify some beers. A Hefeweizen is known for being hazy, so I'm not expecting that to be clear. But in about 9 days, we'll be doing a taste test, and I'll post that video too. Cheers. Don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing, and keep watching. I got a lot more iGulu videos coming. Thank you.